Jesus said to his disciples, as it was in the day of Noah, so it will be with the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So will it be at the end of the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be out in the field, one will be taken, one will be left. 2 will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken, one will be left. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this, if the master of the house had known the hour of the night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let the house be broken into. So too, you also must be prepared, for in an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. Hello and welcome to Closer Walk Catholic Communications. I'm Father BAYHI, your host. We're glad that you can join us. Two men will be out in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one will be left. Remember the big series that made a hit maybe 10, 15 years ago called Left Behind? And it was this passage that they were talking about. It was a reference to the rapture. It was a reference to the end times and the coming of the Son of God. And that God's going to come down and he's going to cherry pick all of us good ones, and the rest of us will stay here. Welcome to our world, okay? I mean, I didn't make it. What about you? That whole idea of the rapture. Well, we need to understand that the prediction of the coming of the Son of Man has been going on since the time Christ left. When you read Paul's letter to the Thessalonians, you know what Paul's reason is to get married? If you can't control yourself, just at least be married. But wait, it's better to go into the kingdom of God unmarried than it is to be married. What? I mean, are you telling me that someone single gets to heaven before someone who's married? Absolutely not. But Paul, speaking to the people of Thessalonica, hey guys, it's like next Thursday, okay? So just hold on, all right? It's like real soon, so just hold on. Well, people have been saying it, that it's real soon for thousands of years. And, you know, I haven't heard of this year's doomsday cult. They have them. They have them all the time, and they have this idea that people think that we can figure this out. Did you read Revelations versus this, chapters that? Don't you realize, didn't you see the news? That's what they're talking about. That's why we all need to move up to the foothills of the Ozarks and get, you know, stone ground peanut butter that lasts 25 years, because we want to be here and protect ourselves for the end of the world. Get a life, people. Get a life, people. You know, we just got through celebrating All Saints' Day. And every year in the parish, on All Saints' Day, we do a list of those who died in the last year. And we remember the deceased from the last year. How many people last year do you think thought that was going to be their last All Saints' Day? I'll tell you what, you read the list, and I guarantee you, at least 75% of them thought, we got years to come. We got plenty of time. We're getting ready to start the Christmas holidays, the celebration of Christmas. Who was here last Christmas? That it's going to be your first Christmas without them. And guess what? Our world hadn't ended, theirs has. And who's going to say that I'm going to live to see Christmas 2017? Who's going to be presumptive enough to say, I'm going to live to see Christmas 2018? None of us have that guarantee. So this idea that we deem from this scripture, there's 2 men in the field, one gets taken, one gets left. 2 women at the mill, one gets taken, one gets left. Happens every day. And it's about a preparation. Now, as you know, we're just beginning the season of Lent. This is our season of Advent. It's our first Sunday in Advent. You know, this is one, oh come, Emmanuel. That's the only song you know from Advent, okay? Everybody else, you know, even I lead the singing sometimes. That's the only one that everybody knows, okay? But only the first verse, I guarantee you. No one knows the second verse. But anyway, and we keep talking about this preparation for the salvation event. In case you hadn't caught on, this isn't a seasonal thing. This is not something that we need to do just because we're getting ready to have the baby in the manger. This preparation for the salvation event, and you know, we know the incarnation was the Word becoming flesh. That was the birth of Jesus. That's the light into darkness. That's our hope. That's our everlasting life. But the salvation event is something that we need to be aware of every day. It's a way we live our lives. Strange thing. I always dress like this when I travel. And I have, and so a lot of times when I'm traveling, I ended up meeting some pretty interesting people. And some people, you know, just kind of go the other way. Other people gravitate. I'm sitting in the Tokyo Delta Lounge. Guy comes and he sits over towards me. And small talk, American elections, you know, all that stuff. Raised Lutheran. His parents were real religious. When he got confirmed, you know, even the pastor said, "You don't believe this, do you?" He said, "No, I don't." He said, "I really don't. Never have." Then he gets to talking, and you know, I mean, now we're going back from high school and his girlfriend getting pregnant, and you know, coming to today. But then he talked about his 17-year-old son getting killed in a car accident. And he said, you know, I've always been a big believer in hugs and kisses and stuff like that. And he said he was leaving. He was leaving the house. And I kissed him, and you know, his sister was upstairs. "Come on, kiss your brother, he's leaving." "Oh, I'm busy." "You better come kiss him, you may not ever see him again," is what he told her. And lo and behold, 18-wheeler took him out. She did never see him again. And I don't even want to go there, what a 13-year-old girl goes through when she was told to kiss her brother, because you may never see him again. And she did never see him again. And, I mean, that's a lifetime of stuff. How many people say, and you know, the last time I saw him, I was so mad. I said this, I said that, hung up the phone, I slammed the door, I walked out the house, I did this, that, or the other. And people will remember that conversation verbatim till the day they die. They can tell you what kind of clothes they had on. They can tell you, you know, what was on the kitchen counter. They can tell you everything about that scene, because that's the moment when the finality of death is real, is very real. And so when we talk about beginning this Advent season, you know, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about reality of the world in which we live. Understanding the fragile nature of human life. And you don't have to be old to die. You don't have to be sick to die. You don't have to be engaged in risky behavior to die. It just happens, baby. It just happens. And we know that. And God knows how many times we've said, who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought today I would be at the funeral of? But we've said it so often, either we don't mean it or we don't understand it. And that moment, what is it going to take for us to understand that this really might be the last time? And ask yourself, if by the time this day is over, I've got to meet God. Got a lot of explaining to do there, Lucy? You know? Is there a lot of stuff in my life that if I had to talk to God about, I just did it. You knew it was wrong, didn't you? You know, how many of us, if we have to meet to God at the end of this day, how many of us can say, God, I was trying. I know I fell short, but I really was trying. And God, I was trying to please you. I got frustrated at one point, but I set out with my heart and my soul to please you, to live my life for you, to do with my life what I think you would want me to do with my life, to treat these people in my world how I think you would want me. I really tried, God. I know I fell short, but I think I can say I died trying. How many of us are able to stand before the throne of God and say, you know, I died trying? If you can, oh, the mercy, the compassion, the love of God. You know, if we got to stand before the throne of God and say, boy, I hadn't talked to you in a long time. I didn't think we'd be meeting this soon. Good luck. Good luck. That is what this invitation to the preparation for the salvation event is really inviting us to. We, you know, I mean, look, attention Walmart shoppers, just 27 days left before Christmas. Oh, thank you. You know, let's make sure we have everything done for Christmas. Baby, what we need to get done is not under the tree. That's not getting ready for the salvation event. And yeah, we know the drill, we know the bills, we know the parties, we know the expectations. You know, be glad when the holiday's over, glad to get back to normal stuff. I'm so tired of that damn broccoli dip, I don't ever want to see it again. We've been there. We've been there. And, you know, Christmas isn't what it used to be. I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you it's not. But it has nothing to do with the fact that we start to advertise Christmas specials before Halloween these days. That's not what ruins it. The fact that it's materialism and people are not allowed to say Merry Christmas because someone will be offended. That's not what ruins it. The ruination goes much deeper. It's something we have to look at. And it's something we will look at when we come back. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Father Jeff BAYHI from Closer Walk Catholic Communications. Thank you for being here today, and a special thanks for the support that you give us. First of all, your prayerful support we so desperately need, and also your financial support. We are donor-driven, and that is what keeps us on the air today. As you well know, the truth is in great demand and in very short supply, and mainstream media is not going to bring you the truth of the Gospels of our Lord Jesus Christ because that's not socially acceptable and it's not politically correct. Certainly we all realize that when this life journey's over, we don't stand before the Supreme Court, we stand before the throne of God. Therefore, with great clarity and great charity, to pronounce the truth of the gospel is important. Your prayers, your financial support enables us to do that. So we thank you, and may God bring you closer in your walk with the Lord each day. God bless you. Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of the night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So too, you also must be prepared, for in an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. Hello and welcome back to Closer Walk Catholic Communications. I'm Father BAYHI, your host, and we're glad that you can join us. Therefore, be awake, for the Son of Man will come at an hour when you do not expect him. Yeah, he comes, but I'm not sure what we expect. You know, as we begin this season of Advent, just ask yourself, look at your list. We're getting ready for Christmas. Look at your list. What do you have to get done between now and Christmas? And we just soon celebrate it while it's still legal in this country, okay? Go ahead. In case you haven't caught on, you know, I don't go every week on Sunday morning and do this show. We have to do it in advance. We just got through with a big, wonderful Halloween parade with ghosts and goblins and the zombies, the blood, the guts, walking down the street like the Walking Dead. Everybody laughs. Isn't that funny? Nobody's offended. It's down Main Street. But I got news for you come Christmas. Don't you dare put one of those baby Jesuses out there. You're going to offend people with your Judeo-Christian ideology. A friend of mine sends me a bulletin from Sarasota, some mall. I don't even know the name of it. But Christmas time, kids go and the glee clubs go and they'll sing Christmas carols and everything like that. There will be no religious singing in the mall whatsoever, and none of the stores are allowed to play religious-themed Christmas carols. Find out how many stores prevent their employees for saying Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Holly's got holy in it, okay? And will only allow season's greetings. That's all they'll allow. You know, season's greetings. Happy holidays, as the cash registers keep ringing. That's what it's all about. And I'm going to, if you make the decision that this store will not allow anything sacred, anything to do with the Christ child, anything to do with religion, anything that's got Christmas or Holly Holy Day, if you want to shop there, you're the reason why they get away with it. You're complicit. Now, the legal stuff about municipal buildings, which I think is very sad, you know, you still got to pay your taxes, unfortunately. But when it comes to retail, we really have a choice. We really have a choice. Oh, I know, but my grandchild wants that toy so bad, and that's the only place I can find it. Time to sit down and say, sweetheart, Grandma didn't buy you that toy. I'm going to tell you why Grandma didn't buy you this toy. This is all about baby Jesus. And they won't let anyone talk about baby Jesus in that store. And that's the only store they could get it. So Grandma didn't want to betray baby Jesus by buying a toy for you. And I don't think you'd want to betray him either. Have that conversation. Teach the next generation what's important and what's going on. You know, it's like the parishes who don't allow Halloween parties. they have All Saints Eve parties. You know, all the kids come to the gym cafetorium, whatever they call it, and they pass out candy, and they all have on their little saints costumes. And they come and they explain why they got their head on their arm, and you know, all these cute things about the stories of saints. It's good stuff. But, you know, oh, well, it's Halloween, and, you know, let them go as their favorite, whatever, all right. Who's going to change it? Who's going to change it? But I'm just one person. I agree. You're just one person. And enough of those one persons, and God forgive me, but all of you Black Friday people, get a life, will you? Get a real life. I mean, it's like, oh, we can spend all of our money and save 20%. Would you do that if there was an opportunity for you to go work in a soup kitchen? Would you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, sleep outside all night, so that you could be the first ones there to take care of people who are genuinely in need? Would you do that? No, but I ain't, you know, save $50 on my favorite coat. Come on, look at yourself. Ask Santa Claus for a mirror this year, okay? Look at the things that we do. Look at the challenges. And look at why we talk about, you know, we're missing it. But this all goes back to getting ready for the Savior. Getting ready for that salvation event. We're not getting ready simply for a holiday. We're getting ready to meet God. And I don't believe that God's going to be impressed that you camped out overnight to be a doorbuster on Black Friday. I do believe God will be very impressed that you decided this Christmas was not about what you got. That this salvation event was about what you were able to give. You know, when we sing, O come, Emmanuel, you know that song? Emmanuel, a name which means God is with us. Who's bringing God into the world this year? Who's making Christ's presence known in the world? Are we doing that in our shopping frenzy? Are we doing that and just busting the budget on decorations? Are we doing that to make sure you can't walk in the living room because there's so many presents scattered all around? Are we doing that by trying to bring Christ into the world? And part of it is witnessing to him. I'm sorry. I'm not shopping at this store anymore. And the reason why I don't shop at this store is your corporate management does not allow the true meaning of Christmas to be spoken about. Oh yeah, that's not going to do any good. These people make so many millions of dollars. I mean, me not shopping there is not going to do any good whatsoever. You're exactly the reason why it doesn't work. You are the reason it doesn't work. Because there are not enough people who are committed to the salvation event. You get caught up in the stuff, and you think all that other stuff is important. I got news for you. You know, you knock a couple $100,000 off their Christmas sales because you don't allow your employees to say Merry Christmas. They're going to see it. Yeah, they may be a multi-million-dollar company, but they want to be a mega multi-million-dollar company. If they're going backwards and not forwards, and if you tell them the truth, I don't shop there anymore. I don't shop there anymore because you don't allow this. And take time to find out. You'd be surprised. Just Google Christmas-friendly corporations. They'll tell you what stores, what drugstores, what toy stores, what department stores, and what their Christmas policy is. All you got to do is Google it. You can find out. And if you have the courage of your own convictions and you stick to your beliefs, maybe you're going to be the one who brings Christ into the world by refusing to patronize people who won't let Christ into the world or into their store. It's an important protest. You know, you can go there and say, I'm outraged, all you want. Yeah, like they're really upset about your outrage. They're not. They're upset about the revenue loss. That's where we start to make a difference. And you know what? Sometimes we can protest Christ's presence in the world. We bring him by not allowing people to push him out of the manger. We bring him in. And we say we're not coming in because of that. The other thing is in prioritizing. Do you realize how many people and we've just been through really bad floods here, you know, and there'll be a lot of people who'll be spending Christmas in a FEMA trailer, okay? A lot of people. 160,000 homes. Not all of them, some of them are back. There are a lot of things that they need. It's not new toys, it's not new gadgets. They need somebody to care. They need someone to worry about the fact that they've been traumatized. They need someone to try and help them feel a sense of normalcy, a sense of gratitude, and a sense of Christ's presence. You know, it isn't, okay, well, they lost their big screen TV, so I bought them a big screen TV. Maybe that's not the real loss. Maybe it's their own security. Maybe it's their feeling God has abandoned them. Maybe they're not understanding where God is in the middle of all this debris. You realize what a wonderful Christmas gift that is? To just be there for somebody? No, you can't buy them a new house. No, you can't buy them a new car. You can bring Emmanuel, a name which means God is with us, into the circumstances they find themselves. And there's so many opportunities. You know, just go in any big city and look on the street corner. Just don't ignore them. Don't go buy them another brown bag. That's not what they need. But care enough to say, hey, can I get you a sandwich? Can I get you a cup of soup? Can I get you something to eat? That means a lot. And not just think, okay, good. You know, I paid $5 for that sandwich. I've done my deal. Talk to the guy. Talk to the gal. Talk to them about their drug habit. Talk to them why they're homeless. Talk to them why they live on the street. Let them know somebody cares. If Emmanuel means God is with us, are you going to help us bring him into the world this year? Or are you going to hang out in the malls? Your choice. Thanks for being with us. May each day bring you closer in your walk with the Lord. God bless you.